Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle and I'm here to do a reading for fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, wherever you might have those in your chart. And you have them somewhere, so this could be for you. That's my intention. There's something in here for everyone. And my readings are timeless, so whenever you catch this is the right time for you. I have chosen 3 cards from Wisdom of the Oracle, and I'll be clarifying with some other decks. And I've let the universe choose a song. And the title of your song is YDLM, aka You Don't Love Me. um, yeah, you're very clear. You have finally come to the understanding that it is time to be done with someone, some situation involving someone where you're just like, I'm walking away. I'm not doing this anymore. You don't love me. Why stick around? You've become very clear about that. And the thing about this is that in these kinds of situations, we we basically have a choice. We can kind of go into a depressive state and feel really bad, and potentially that's going to happen just because whenever you decide to walk away, there is a certain amount of grieving. Although sometimes you can have been going through a period of grieving for a long time while you were in the situation. And by the time you get to that point where you're done, you're like, oh, okay. I'm okay actually, because it's been so hard up to this point. Whatever. I'm done. Um Either way, um what the card is saying, we have happy, happy, and protection. It's all about lightening up and getting silly, getting playful, just doing whatever you can to start to boost yourself, start to build your vibration. If you've been in a situation that has kind of kept you down, kept you suppressed, this is you just shaking all that energy off and being like, all right, I'm I am I'm done. I'm walking away, but I'm not going to do it with my shoulders slumped and my head down. I'm gonna walk away dancing and singing and smiling. Um, and with deep knowing and protection, it's basically you're in this place of feeling hypersensitive, empathy overload, psychic exhaustion. This is you, and we have time to go. This is you walking away from a situation that depleted you. And so through finally understanding and deciding that you need to walk away, you're you're kind of releasing yourself from binds that were there keeping you stuck. And this is you, at least for now, saying no to anyone who exhausts you, who depletes your energy in any way. And it doesn't mean that you're going to say goodbye to everyone forever. Put my blanket on. But you're, I don't know, whatever situation you're dealing with, you are definitely leaving it behind. you're You've been pushed to your limits and beyond, and now you know. You know what? No. Decisively, no. You're done. Whatever this is, you're done. You're done. You're done with your person. You're telling them you're done. Or yeah. Typically, situations usually involve other people, whether that's romantic or um, something else. So let's look at the good tarot. We will see what the good tarot has to say. We've got the Five of Earth. It's been it's yeah, it's definitely been a tough time for you, possibly for a while. Um the five of earth, the five of pentacles can often be a card of feeling left out in the cold. However, because it's in this deck, it's speaking to the the ability to see past the illusion of something. That, yes, maybe in the moment something felt painful, you felt like a victim, you felt like you were mistreated, something happened, but you're coming to this place where you're taking back your power. You're taking responsibility for yourself, for your life, knowing that you kept yourself in this situation. And now it's time to move on. And there's been a big lesson in this. And and so you're just like, okay, like I'm not going to let this keep me down anymore. I'm going to start just being happy just for the sake of it. This might suck, but this too shall pass. Um, yeah, and if you've dealt with any kind of financial loss, this is you starting to see abundance and prosperity in a whole new way. That it's not necessarily just about money, that it's about appreciating and acknowledging everything that you have in your life. That so many of us live like kings and queens. If you're watching me on YouTube, chances are like you make you have a decent amount of abundance. You're not destitute living on the street. So, it's acknowledging and appreciating what you do have. And in doing that, being in gratitude is a great way to raise your vibration. And when you raise that vibration, essentially what you're doing is you're taking away the energetic umbrella that you've had over you, keeping all the good coming in. And now you're in alignment with your higher power, with everything that is rightfully meant to come to you. Yay. Messenger of water. This is this is often a card of admiration. It can be romantic attraction, but it can also be falling in love with yourself, healing and learning to appreciate who you are. That maybe you were in a situation that left you feeling less than, left you feeling unworthy, unfulfilled, that something was wrong with you. And this is you starting to realize once you take your power back, once you start to raise your vibration, you're like, hey, actually, I'm pretty awesome. And I was just in a situation that left me feeling less than awesome. But now I can take control and care for myself, go within, nurture myself, say no to anyone who makes me feel less than awesome. And yeah, very much falling in love with yourself, I think. And in turn that allows other people to it magnetizes other people to you who start to fall in love with you as well. In all the ways, again, not necessarily romantically, but people who truly genuinely love themselves, you can tell. There is a magnetic quality to them. um and they're often people who are very grateful, they're often humble, kind, considerate, compassionate, all those things, because they have nothing to prove, or yeah, nothing, very little to prove, because they're just like, well, this is me. I'm doing my best. Aren't we all? And that space of allowing is very, really draws a person in. And three of air. Yeah, this is you have really been put through your paces. Um, you have dealt with a fair amount of heartbreak and pain. And again, because of being in this deck, this is about seeing the silver lining, knowing that there was a lesson to be learned in everything that you've gone through, or maybe many lessons. And understanding that rejection is protection. You don't love me. Now you're like, oh, well, if if someone rejected you and you decide to walk away, you're like, you're coming to that understanding of, oh, this person wasn't right for me anyway. There is actually someone better, something better, some situation that's so much better for me. um there's a sense of detachment here, because again, you're taking the time to go within, to put yourself first, to heal, work on healing whatever wounds, probably from childhood. And um and it's empowering you. And so you're in this place of, this is the card of on your way. You haven't gotten to the door yet, but you're on your way. You've decisively left something behind, and now you're making that journey. And so there's definitely this kind of transition time that you're in right now. I'm going to grab the Oracle Tarot. Four of Swords, recovery and retreat. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This is all about going within, taking the time to heal, to rest, to care for yourself. It always starts with you. Always starts with self care. And then once you fill up your reserves, once you charge your batteries, then you have enough to give others. And Five of Wands. Another five. Fives are basically about change. Um, going from one place into another. It's that kind of halfway point. And with this one, test of courage, um it might it might feel like a test of courage, walking away, dealing whatever you've been dealing with, some kind of drama, some kind of upset, some kind of heartbreak. But you're not letting it bring you down. Yeah. You're building up your courage. It feels like a steep mountain to climb. She's looking way up at the top of those wands, just like, oh my god. But you have it within you, and all the self care, all this taking the time to heal, that is building up your courage and your strength to get to the next thing, to get to that door and what's beyond it. Ooh, and we get the Two of Swords, balance restored and resolution, which is so great because, again, because it's in this deck, this is it's a card of completion. Twos are often about balance. I would say twos are always about balance. And the Two of Swords can be about, like, um kind of dealing with a stalemate with someone, no one's willing to budge. But because it's in this deck, it's like everyone coming to that point of, like, okay, whatever happened. Let's, like, put our swords down and compromise somehow, meet halfway. And this is also helping to increase your your vibration, because you're not being held down by some kind of issue that's kept you stuck, that's kept you feeling so bad about yourself and your life. So it's really good. Um, I want to, I don't know. And again, the title of the song, YDLM, You Don't Love Me. Um, once you get to a point of surrender, of understanding that no matter what you do, you can't make someone have feelings about you. Once you free yourself, then what am I trying to say? It's like, you don't have to hate the person. You don't have to hold a grudge anymore. You're like, okay, this situation happened. It really sucked, but we we can at least end the conflict. Um, and that's allowing you, it's getting you unstuck. There's a certain amount of forgiveness here. And I'm looking at the what's it called? Dreaming Way Tarot. This is the Nine of Cups, which is a card of fulfillment and happiness and like gratitude for what you have and so much abundance. This is where you're moving towards. It's what you're attracting into your life. Emotional fulfillment. Cups are always about the emotions, and yeah. And then we get the Two of Pentacles. Couple of fives, couple of twos. um, this is a card of, again, twos are about balance. And like you're learning how to show up for yourself in a new way. You're learning to understand what is worth your time and energy and what is not. And focusing, you're really turning the focus on yourself where maybe it hasn't been before. And you're seeing things in a whole new way. You're understanding things in a whole new way. And the Ten of Wands. Yeah. You're letting, you've been carrying a burden for quite a while. And this, this character is going to pick up this 10th wand. And I feel like, you know, as so often happens when you have a lot of things in your arms and you go and try and get that last thing, everything ends up falling. Um, because you can't hang on to it. And tens are about closing out a cycle. You're done. You're going to let these go so that you don't have to feel weighed down anymore. It's yeah. It's time to release that burden, and I think you are very clear about this. You understand this. Um what am I doing? I'm going to look at the Osho Zen tarot. Trust. It's time for you to fly. It's time for you to fall. It's time for you to just know that no matter what happens, you're being guided. You're being guided to the next thing. You see there's a door in front of you and you're moving towards that rather than looking at the door behind you that's closed. And with trust, it's like you're moving into the unknown and you just have to know that you're going to be okay. Universe has your back. It's all happening for a reason and it's all leading you to a better place. Oh, this card, which comes up so often. Um, the mind. This is that way of being that has kept you stuck. This is what brings your energy down. In order to get out of the mind, you got to get grounded. You got to get into your heart. You got to get playful and silly. You got to do anything you can to distract yourself, because the way that you've been dealing with whatever it is, with all this intensity, it has left you confused. And I mean, nothing makes sense. It's all just, you know, I don't even know how to articulate this, but I think the picture speaks for itself. It's getting out of this state and into this state. And aloneness. Yep. Taking the time to rest, heal, and retreat. Um, this is where you're basically you're understanding that you have the light within you to guide you where you need to go. It's not about searching for anything outside of yourself. You have everything you need within. This character, I feel like, the light is coming from them, guiding their way to the edge. It definitely looks like an edge to going to the unknown, but trusting that when you jump, you are going to fly. Mhm. Mhm. Um okay, I'm going to go with the angelic messenger cards, and I will finish off with a rune card. Choice. God, this card comes up a lot. A lot. Choice. Making a choice. Choosing yourself. God, I have kitty hair everywhere. Get off me. Yeah, you're choosing yourself. um choosing your happiness, choosing your fulfillment over anything else. And it's not a selfish thing. Selfish being that you're doing whatever you want and who cares about anyone else. This is you finally putting yourself first, understanding that as you heal, then you will be able to help others. It's that analogy of being in an airplane and putting the mask on first before you help others. Choosing yourself, choosing your happiness. Self-worth. Yep, that's exactly what we're dealing with here. You are you are understanding that you have had issues with self-worth probably most of your life. And now you are, through the self-care, through retreating, through saying no to anyone who exhausts you, who depletes you, and you're like, wow, like you're falling in love with yourself. You're becoming your own best friend. And at the end of the day, it we always come back to ourselves. You got to be your friend first before you can be a friend to anyone else, and vice versa. I mean, RuPaul says it best. How in the hell are you going to love somebody else if you can't love yourself? And we get courage. Once again, lots of messages here, like repeating messages. Um, Courage, change, choice, um, balance. What you're doing, where you're heading, does take courage. Walking away from anything takes courage. Um, I can totally relate. I'm walking away from a job, going to something new, and it's like starting something new is always like, what's the word? um, it can be discombobulating, but then you get used to it. You ease into the new thing. You figure it out. Maybe it's not an easing in. Maybe it's like a sudden, like, here we go. Okay, hit the ground running. What am I doing? I don't know. All these moving parts, but you're gonna figure it out. No matter what it is, it's change, which is, not only is it inevitable, but it's necessary. It's what you do with it, how graceful you are in moving towards that change. So, yeah, let's go to the pick a final rune card. Runes for modern life. I just, this deck is amazing. I just have to say. All right, we've got Ingwas. We've got We've got some love here. Um, I mean, this could be parts of yourself that you're bringing together. There's kind of a yin yang quality between these two. Um, there's a merger within yourself, um, through falling in love with yourself. You're falling in love with all the different parts, and also, with the title of the song, YDLM, um, aka You Don't Love Me. This is you moving through a door towards someone who does, who can, who will, who will accept you and embrace you, and treat you with all the love and respect and care that you deserve. And it's because you're doing this for yourself. You're attracting this in. So let's look at the book. Let me find it. Um maybe. Okay. Let's see if I figured out how to find the page quicker. All right. So, the meaning is earth and sacred. Ingwaz is linked to sexuality and fertility and is a sign of passion in a relationship or tremendous creativity in work or business. There is strong energy driving you forward, and if this exciting and positive momentum continues, success is likely. This rune card is also a symbol of green shoots and being free to move forward in a new way. That's right. The old is left behind, challenges are resolved, and a new dawn breaks. You are breaking through to a new way of thinking and living, and there is no looking back. Now is a time for glorious new beginnings, and you are encouraged to seize the moment. Ingwaz truly carries with it a sense of magical possibility and the promise of peace, relief, happiness, and inner growth. As long as you don't allow fear to hold you back. Yeah, and maybe that's a good way to describe this. The fear keeps you stuck. It keeps you like, um, yeah. Sometimes it is not our limitations, but our ability to shine that we fear. This card is encouraging you to step forward and shine brightly. And with all this new self worth, that is going to be so easy and it's going to feel so good. And it's going to be this upward spiral where you just keep rising and keep being more and more your most authentic, awesome self. So, yay for you. Keep it up. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you well, and have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share.